Today on Drawbli,
we are talking about loosening up your drawings.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are self-taught artists documenting our journey of learning to draw, which is of course better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you are new around here and share your artwork on Instagram with #Drawbli.
Yes, we are loosening up for once in our lives, Abby. We're always so strict and rigid here on Drawbli.
Tense and wound up.
Yeah, that's pretty much the main descriptor I would use for this
very
YouTube
formal,
channel.
very professional.
Yeah,
that's what they say about us. Very like just you never know what's going on beneath the surface.
So before I get to what I did here with this portrait, I have to explain how I got there. Because it's a tale.
Did you take a train?
It's a journey.
Did you ride on water skis?
I took my car.
What?
I was stuck here at work. I sculpt for a living. I don't know if you know this.
What?
Yeah. So I was sculpting and I was getting really kind of tired sculpting on this character because I was at a point where I was just like, I've been staring at it too long. I need to go do something else.
Yes.
So I got in my car. Not a train, not water skis
water
or
skis.
Jet skis or whatever you said.
Yeah.
And I went to our local cafe/bar that we love so much.
We do.
And I was like, okay, I have 2 hours here. And this was before we were going to improv. So I was like, I gotta be back at this time. 2 hours, I'm gonna make a portrait. And whatever comes out in those 2 hours is what I have.
I love that.
So I kept things as loose as possible. We've been doing a lot of portraits lately, right?
Yes.
And I've been talking about wanting to do some more animals lately because the pressure feels a lot lower. Simply because with human faces, you can easily tell when anything's off.
Absolutely.
It's pretty frustrating when you just have something very minor that's wrong. But with an animal, you can make those mistakes and it's not as egregious or uncanny valley kind of thing.
But Ben, this isn't an animal.
This is not an animal. However, I approached it with that mentality of I'm gonna be really loose here. Obviously, I still, created a sketch. I didn't do like Alla Prima style, just directly painting. I don't really enjoy that quite as much as I used to.
That used to be your bread and butter. You were very naturally inclined towards that with the selection tool.
For sure.
And it's very interesting to see our reversal of roles because I was this way. I had to do a sketch first. And now I'm a little bit more likely to just start off with color.
Yeah, you were a little more like printer style though initially, where you would start at the ear, right? And slowly work your way around the face. But now you kind of do the whole thing and kind of work on it in passes. We have a very similar workflow. Not exactly the same. But anyway, so I had 2 hours. I went to the cafe. I was like, I'm just gonna keep things loose. I'm not going to try to get things absolutely perfect. I'm just going to, do whatever I can in this time limit, and I'm gonna chill and relax and kind of focus on taking the pressure off of myself.
Did you listen to music or the cafe?
I listened to the music of the cafe.
Oh.
And there were a couple boomers. There were a couple older gentlemen next to me in construction or some kind of contracting work talking about how things just aren't like they used to be. And I was just kind of chuckling to myself listening to them talk. It's always so fun to you're sitting there drawing and you're listening to the, sounds of the cafe and some random conversation. And you just kind of zone in and out of whatever they're talking about. And every once in a while they say something like, things just aren't like they used to be. And I'm like, what is this, a freaking movie?
That's gonna be us
people actually
one day.
talk like this?
Yes. We will one day wake up to find ourselves saying, things just aren't like they used to be.
Now, Abby, I have a question for you.
I have answers.
Do you?
Yeah.
Are you feeling better now? Are you feeling more perked up?
Yes. Maybe. So
Yes, maybe.
I'm only partway into my half-calf Americano, which considering how sleepy I was today, I probably should have gone full calf, but we don't want to get jittery.
So Abby has developed some kind of Pavlovian conditioning to where whenever I'm like, hey Abby, it's time to record, she always looks at me and says, But I'm so tired. I'm late tired.
I do get sleepy on these days, but I don't know why. It's probably like a combination of waking up too early and, well, that's it. That's all. That's what I do.
It's not like we're getting up at 5 a.m. like trying to record Drawbli.
No, but I often wake up way too early and don't go back to sleep. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that our quick trip to Starbucks has refreshed you.
And
gotten you to a better
truthfully,
place.
I'll get to a better place because, I'm very active right now. The reason I think I'm so tired is because I went to gymnastics yesterday.
Oh, well, that would make you physically tired. Those are two different kinds of tired, aren't they?
My rules, my rules.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
No, but I went to an adult gymnastics class.
No, hold on. I'm not done mansplaining to you about how tired you are.
I went to an adult gymnastics class, and if you've never been to one and have the opportunity in your area, I highly recommend. It's just so fun. You get to run around, and everything's padded, so you can just run and flop around.
You can really roughhouse in there. It's great.
You can really throw your friend in a headlock and just pound him into the ground.
No.
Well,
I've only been once, and I did not see any headlocks or beat-em-ups.
No, it was mostly people trying to do cartwheels or handstands or flips and varying levels. It's so fun because in the adult class, it's absolute beginners to gymnastics, or it's ex-gymnasts who are just like there for kind of some open gym time as adults. Wide range of expertise.
Are they really ex-gymnasts if they're in a gymnastics class?
Maybe the definition is somebody who's no longer competing.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fair.
Or affiliated with a gym. Anyway, valid reasons. I just want to make it clear that I do not spend most of my time catatonic on the couch. I am like a greyhound. I have massive spurts of energy and
honestly,
this is
pretty accurate. Pretty accurate for Abby's daily life. Now, Abby, in our last episode of Drawbli, or in a recent episode of Drawbli, I'm not sure if it exactly was our last one, but I just realized that we hadn't mentioned your new hobby.
Oh, we are talking way too much about me then this episode. With you drawing this amazing piece, and we have
it's a boring one. It's fine. It's a loose piece. It's getting there. It's
so
getting there.
good.
It's happening. It's coming together.
Okay.
You have to tell. Look, everybody was waiting with bated breath because
I know.
you didn't say what it was.
Interspersed with gymnastics, I've also been going to an aerial silks class.
What?
It is so cool and
What
so
is that?
fun. These two long trails of silk hang from the ceiling, and you entwine yourself in them and do little flippy-doos.
Just like Cirque du Soleil?
Just like them.
Wow.
Just like them on a vastly inferior level. But yeah, there's a circus company in our area that advertises silks classes. There's actually...
I wasn't that far off. I actually didn't know it was a circus company.
It actually is. Yeah, it's literally a circus company because we live near a relatively large-sized city, Cincinnati. And
I've heard of it,
we
yes.
have access to all these kind of different niche things. There are actually 3 different places I could have taken silks classes.
But you found the best one.
Well, my friends did. Blissfully, I did not have to do the research, but they found one that cost half of what the other 2 cost. And for the reason being, you show up and it looks like you're entering an unmarked warehouse in not a rough part of town, but definitely not like a very affluent part of town, I guess you might say. But it is right across from a police station, so that feels really good and safe. And so you enter the unmarked warehouse with all the carnival-esque equipment. There's like carnival lights. It literally feels like a movie
broken down
scene.
animatronics.
It almost gives that vibe. And then you cross this corner in the back, and suddenly you're in this like little paradise with these beautiful silks spilling from the ceiling.
Wow.
And it's a little magical land.
Now, do they offer other, being a circus company, I assume they offer other activities.
They do. There is a form of activity similar to silks that I do not recall the name of, but it involves a very large hoop that hangs from the ceiling.
It's called hoops.
No, it's called, I want to say it starts with an L, lyra or something.
Lear.
Yeah, no, but you can do stuff with the hoop as well. And they might have a couple other things as well, but No, they're a blast. I recommend them to my
Well,
friends
now
all the time.
everybody knows about your new hobby of aerial silks.
Yeah.
You've finally gotten it out to the public. They were raving mad.
I don't think anybody's remembered to ask. Maybe they have. I don't know. I'll check. Yes, and then coming soon, I'm trying CrossFit.
Oh my goodness, Abby, you just need to slow down. I think I found the reason why you're so tired all the time.
Yeah. Well, what do they say? I can sleep when I'm dead.
I mean, I don't say that.
I don't say that either.
I have said that before, but I don't say that anymore.
I actually think rest is extremely important. Extremely important.
I take it or leave it.
No, absolutely important. We all have permission to rest at it when we need to.
Not as an artist, Abby. We have to work ourselves to the bone.
Yeah, according to you, interrupting my nap this morning.
You mean the point where you laid down right before we were trying to record?
No, it was like hours till we needed to record.
You and how you took all that time to get your video ready to record? Tisk, tisk, tisk. So I was correct. Thank you very much. Just like I was so correct with this painting.
What would they
here.
call our reality show? Not the Real Housewives of whatever, but
The
we have our own
Annoying
drama.
Housewives of Drawbli.
This painting is so
Housewives.
cool. I am so sorry to have talked about just me this whole time because I genuinely think this painting is super cool. I love the lights, the saturated colors. I love the way you've stylized the eyes
Well, maybe you just need
and
to
kept things
loosen
textured.
up. That's the trick. You just gotta
Literally,
loosen up.
I do a lot of stretching with my activities, so I'm pretty loose.
Not that kind of loose. I'm talking about not being so rigid with your painting.
Oh, like taking a nap when I need one?
No, that's different. That's wrong. No, not like that. Wrong. No naps.
I'm not much of a napper, but when I need one, I need one. I love the texture you're adding here. This is so cool. I really think this portrait is so well done. You should be very proud of it, and I hope you are.
Medium proud, you know.
Medium proud? Okay.
I'm
that's
more
fair.
proud with the kind of mindset that I approached this with of like I'm throwing in all these random texture brushes on here and I'm really just kind of enjoying more so the process rather than being worried about the result.
I love that. I feel like that really strikes at the heart of what it means to enjoy creating art versus I have to create this and make it perfect and it has to be perfect. It's truly, I think what we do is about the creation process. Isn't that what we've talked about with AI art? Like a lot of people will get tired of it very quickly because there's no satisfaction much in
nothing
creating.
easily gained is worth having.
Exactly,
kind of thing.
exactly.
And I fully believe that and stand behind that idea.
Like a no hate on AI art, really. Like, I mean, it's no threat to me.
Yeah, it's no threat to me either.
Yeah, but it's just not got the same gratifying process of that human creation element.
Yeah, for sure. I think that is a very large part of it that many people are overlooking. And I think a lot of those people, for those people, not that I don't really think we've even talked about like AI
Very
art.
little.
Yeah, because I think all of it's already been said and there's not really too much else that we need to say on the subject. But yeah, I think for a lot of those people that approach it in that way are going to kind of look at it more as a fad and definitely fall off on that bandwagon pretty quick.
Yeah, I think it can be used like many things for good or for ill, and people can derive a lot of satisfaction from it depending on how they're using it and what their goals are.
For sure.
We won't get into the ethical parts of the way it can be used to use other people's great works, though. That's a different question, but we are aware of it.
Abby, we just need our own Drawbli AI that can actually, zoom in and paint the portrait like we're doing here so that we just stop everything and we just sit here and talk all day.
AI prompt, show me a time lapse of
Show me a
painting-
Drawbli time lapse of a mediocre portrait.
Oh no, this is a good portrait. I like this portrait. Can't be down on yourself, you know? There's no point. There's literally no point to be down on your own stuff. To critique it, yes. To say, oh, I could have done that spot better. But just overall, like, meh, I'm bad. No point.
I didn't say I was bad. I said it was mediocre. And I didn't say I was mediocre. I said the portrait was mediocre. Those are two different things.
That's fair.
Look, I'm awesome, and I know it. I'm great.
That's the spirit.
But the portrait I'm making, you know, I can objectively see that it could be a lot better. But hey, that's what you get when you have 2 hours and you're approaching it with that loose, chill mentality.
Ooh, yeah. The way you said that. Anyway, there you were with your loose, chill mentality.
Yeah, and there was my portrait with his loose, chill mentality. Look at all that cool texture.
I love this. It looks so painterly. This is genuinely very enjoyable to look at, and I do think you should be very pleased with how this turned out.
And if you would like to be pleased with how your artwork turns out, you should click that like and subscribe button.
And share your work on Instagram with the hashtag Drawbli, because drawing is better with friends.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
Goomba.
I love my half-calf Americano with oat milk and 2 pumps of brown sugar syrup.
And I love my decaf Americano, and
Iced.
I ripped off the tag.
I can tell you
because
it's an iced decaf Americano with half and half and 4 pumps of caramel syrup.
Thanks.
You're welcome.